What's going on, MJ traders and investors? It's Rod with Powell Group. Welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth for an MJ Sector review. And today is a review for Wednesday, March 10th. I hope everyone is doing well today. So before we jump into today's content, make sure to smash the like and subscribe to the channel. We're going to go over some news and events, and then we'll look at some charting and the overall Canadian and US cannabis sectors. But before we do, just want to bring up the Tilray article here. The stock of the day is going to be Tilray. So we had some Tilray news, so we'll make that the focal point of our show today. So Tilray receives approvals to expand and commercialize medical cannabis products in New Zealand. And we're starting to see more and more companies start to expand internationally, and it seems that the Canadian companies have a pretty good head start, but we saw that Curaleaf is going to be purchasing EMAC. I did a video on that yesterday in their earnings, and they are one of the #1 cannabis leaders in Europe. So you can take a look at that, but House of Representatives passed the $1.9 trillion stimulus bill today, and the White House says that it's on its way to Biden, and Biden plans to sign it into law on Friday. So in my opinion, we could see a down day tomorrow, and then some consolidation in the broader markets and in MJ, and then see it ramp into Friday. So we have Merrick Garland confirmed as U.S. Attorney General by the Senate, and the vote was 70-30, and he is a advocate for MJ. So we saw some run-ups after that news came out in MSOS, which is the ETF that tracks the U.S. MSOs and the big companies in the U.S., but that is nice to see, and he is favorable for the MJ space. So we'll see if that ends up helping the MJ bulls in the long run. We also saw that Aurora Cannabis announces filing of preliminary base shelf prospectus and securities debt up to $1 billion during a 25-month period. So they could be raising up to an additional $1 billion in securities and shares. So again, doesn't mean that they're going to. It's similar to what Canopy did with its $2 billion that they were putting in their base shelf. So again, it doesn't mean that they're going to, but it does give them the ability, if the market conditions are favorable, or if they were looking at mergers and acquisitions, that type of thing, or any kind of global strategies and global growth strategies that they may look toward. But we're seeing potential downside because of the fact that this could dilute and increase more shares, right? So again, not 100% that they're going to use it, but it's there if they need it, so to speak. We also saw that Hexacorp wins complete dismissal of U.S. federal shareholder class action lawsuit. So you can check that out for your own. It wasn't really a huge event. It was pretty much a non-event. So we'll jump onto the charts here. So Tilray, daily bounce was underway, very similar to SPY. And we knew that this bounce was likely going to result in a lower high compared to 2960. And we got to 2711 was the high of the day today. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw, like I said, consolidation tomorrow, and we scout daily higher lows. We're still in daily downtrends, just like SPY. And I just did a broader market video. You can check that out on the broader market for a more in-depth analysis on the S&P 500 and the broader market. But Bitcoin's already changed its daily trend, and SPY could potentially see daily consolidation tomorrow. It's going to try and change its daily trend, and then it'll be back in daily, weekly, and monthly uptrends. So Tilray, no different. If we do lose the low of the day today, it's going to be extremely important, 2311. If we lose 2311 tomorrow, or we see a gap down, then obviously daily consolidation will be underway, and we'll be scouting higher lows compared to 1823. Bulls will hope to see a higher low formed compared to that support level, and then break above resistance at 2711, confirm a daily uptrend, and then we're back in daily and weekly uptrends and monthly uptrends. But nice bounce here off the weekly EMA 12, trying to form a nice base of support. We have a weekly inside bar there on watch as well. But like I said, wouldn't be surprised if we see daily consolidation tomorrow. And the hourly chart's going to be extremely important. So let's just take a look here. We hadn't formed an hourly high or low since back here at 2186. And from that high of the day, we started hourly consolidation. So as long as we hold 2186, that's going to be the most important. Or if we see a lower high into a lower low and a confirmed hourly downtrend, then that would obviously mean that daily consolidation would be underway at that point, and we need to lose the low of today tomorrow. So that's going to be the case for most names, but Tilray standing out as one of the leaders. But on the bull and bear list, we had RIV, OGI, SNDL leading the decline today. On the bull list, we only had NSP. So let's just take a look at some individual tickers here. So ACB already started its daily consolidation. Cron already started its daily consolidation, losing the low of yesterday. TGOD losing the low as well. So daily consolidation underway. CGC getting close near the low of the day. So the more names that confirm daily consolidation, the more we can anticipate sector-wide to see the same result. Hexo didn't lose its low. So again, the low of the day today is going to be extremely important tomorrow. If we lose the low of the day today on Hexo, CGC, APHA, all the tier 1s, then daily consolidation will be underway. We'll be scouting higher lows, and then we'll be scouting daily trend changes and trend change attempts. So that's pretty much where we stand in terms of Canadian MJ. Like I said, just following SPY for the most part. SPY saw some weakness into the end of the day, and we saw some weakness into Canadian MJ into the end of the day. Tilray here on the weekly. We are holding the 10-week moving average. The stochastic is bearish, but it's looking to start the curl, but MACD never crossed bearish on this pullback, and nice potential entry here off that 10-week moving average. We closed above it, even though we dipped with a lower wick below, and as long as we close over 22.12 this week, I would consider that a win in the bull books. So in terms of the moving average, we dipped below the 100 weekly moving average, and we had again another lower wick, but bulls saved the day. And a close over 1937 would be bullish. And on the daily moving averages, we dipped below the 50, ultimately held it. This is looking good. We got the 50-day moving average down at 2184, so that is very crucial that that holds as well. If we lose the 50, we're likely heading down to the 100, down around $14.70 and $15. So again, if we see consolidation in the broader market and in the MJ space, we could get daily trend changes attempts, and like I said, we'll be scouting those higher lows. We'll want to change those. The quicker the bulls change the daily trend back to in their favor, the better. We never lost the weekly VWAP. Again, we dip below it. That's been the common theme. We dip below, but closing above. Lots and lots of support there around the $20 area. So on the U.S. side, Curaleaf had earnings yesterday. They came out with earnings after the market had ended. So we saw it after market close yesterday, and I did a video. You can check that out. But essentially, they missed on revs just barely, and they missed on EPS. So like I mentioned yesterday, I said at the end of the video, I said that the earnings were really good, and they came out with that acquisition news of EMAC, company in Europe that they were going to be purchasing. They said that they're going to be coming out with beverages called Select Squeeze some point here in the next couple of months. So there was lots of good catalysts, and they said that they provided positive guidance for 2021 and the year ahead. So everything looked good, but a lot of people were caught off guard as why did we pull back today? And I mentioned that in my video yesterday. I can consider their earnings really, really good, but we ran hard into earnings and we were close to resistance. We ran hard. We were up about 13% yesterday. And as we know, the harder they run into earnings, the more they have to crush estimates. So since it missed on revenue, it didn't miss by much, but a miss is a miss. And EPS missed significantly. So again, didn't crush. Therefore, we ran into earnings. Therefore, we got smacked down because we were anticipating we just needed to beat those estimates and blow it out of the water, and we didn't. So that is why we saw profit taking into the beginning of the day. But on the bull and bear list, we had VREO, Ian, AYR. AYR got smoked today as well. On the bull list, nice to see BAM close the day strong. I added to my position down at about 55 cents. KHRN and BioHarvest GRWG leading the move higher today. So BAM, solid move there off the lows from Friday. 40% move from the low of Friday. Congrats to the bulls, topping out around EMA 26. Again, most likely scenario. After coming out of a daily downtrend, we're bouncing here on the daily, but we're still in a daily downtrend. So is this a dead cat bounce? Or are we going to come down, form a higher low, and then attempt a daily trend change? This is the case for pretty much every name. So pretty much going to end it there. Everything's the exact same as SPY. Like 99% of stocks, pretty much 90%. Obviously, there's some stocks that can run individually counter trend and do their own thing. But for the most part, MSOS started daily consolidation as well. That was notable. So we could see further downside tomorrow. But just like SPY, scouting those daily higher lows, and we'll attempt daily trend changes possibly tomorrow, if not Friday. So we're going to end it there. Seeing if there's anything else that comes to mind. And I don't think so. We have earnings coming up a lot next week. Hexo earnings is a week from tomorrow. I sold some Hexo today at the open. We were up about 725, I think I sold it at, or 720. And then I reloaded cheaper. I was targeting 650. I reloaded cheaper around 669. Just entered back into that position that I sold from Friday of my entry around 560s, 570s. Solid move there on Hexo as well from its lows, about over 30%. And we could see more daily consolidation into tomorrow. So we got a lot of earnings coming up next week and the week after that. It's going to be an interesting end to the month. So thanks again for joining us on the Pursuit of Wealth for an MJ Sector review, and we'll see you tomorrow after market close. Take care, everybody.